I am sat in my incredibly small camper van. Although it's incredibly small, it is beautifully cosy. Here comes the sun. It's one of them days, man, where the sun's in and out, so I'm just going from bright to dark. Yeah, so I gave up trying to film that intro. I was running late and couldn't deal with the sun coming in and out of the clouds, but that was a telling sign that the weather was on the turn for the worse. I can't believe how much the weather has turned. It was so sunny when we left home. This is a landscape photography channel. I take my van, my camera, and head off into some incredibly beautiful places in pursuit of the perfect image. Now, a lot of the time, things don't go my way. But every now and then, the stars align and I get to see Mother Nature at her very best. And right now I'm driving to the southwest of Scotland to indulge in a bit of early autumn photography. Today's video is sponsored by Squarespace. Oh, this is definitely the worst thing about, driving and trying to tell that story. This shot is almost not worth it, but it just about is. The classic drive-by. Oh man. I tell you what, I don't think any photography is happening this evening. This weather is fairly typical when on a landscape photography shoot in the UK, but the best conditions always come after a storm, and the trick is to time your arrival just as the storm passes. Yeah, not sure I've timed this one correctly. So in an ideal world, and what I'm looking for is an area that looks like it has lots of potential for photography, or even just a single subject that has somewhere close by or on it where I can park the van and camp. So when I'm driving like this and I've got my camera gear in the back, I'm not looking for a park up. I'm not looking for a good park up. As a priority, I'm looking for a good place to exercise my creativity and to shoot landscape photography. That's what I'm looking for. Ooh, look at this. It's just like, there's always potential. I like to explore every nook and cranny. A little riverside here, you never know. At this time of year, in autumn, shots everywhere. Well, sadly there was nothing here with any real photographic potential, so it's time to move on and find somewhere else to bed down for the night whilst we wait for the storm to pass. Well, it is a bit of a shame we didn't get a shot this evening, but I have to say that is the nature of the business. If you got a shot every time you went out and got perfect conditions every time you went out with a camera, it's just boring. So it's the thrill of the chase for me, but I'm able to sleep on location, which gives me a second chance tomorrow morning. Oh, so down here in front of my passenger seat is where I keep my fridge with all little bits and pieces, and tonight I'm actually going to have my wife's homemade lasagna, which is, it's a thing of beauty. It really is. It's one of the best meals I've ever had, so I nabbed this from the fridge and we're somehow going to try and heat it up. And that's the problem with my setup in this van, is the heating of the food. The stove is terrible. So this is the problem, it's such a faff. I keep all of my cooking under here, so I've got cooking items. Oh, that was my knee hitting my carbon monoxide alarm test button. And then I have another box here for food, which is fine. But this is the problem, the stove. It's just a faff, and it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit in the box, it doesn't fit under here, and it's just messy and awkward, it's difficult to clean, and I think I need a better solution than this. Oh yes, yes, yes! Oh yeah! Oh, I reckon that's done. So this for me is the main benefit of having a van for photography. I've avoided expensive hotels. I can be spontaneous and pretty much go wherever I like within reason. And I've got somewhere warm, comfortable and cozy to spend the evening. And all I'm going to do now is eat my dinner, drink a cup of tea and just think about tomorrow morning and start getting all these ideas about what might be. Maybe we'll get light, mist, amazing atmospheric conditions. We just don't know. So that, it's the anticipation and the passing of time throughout the night, which is really great. And it just makes the whole photography experience so much more enjoyable, and there's so much more involvement. So even if you don't get an image like I haven't this evening, it doesn't matter. It's an entire process. It's not just coming away with a photograph, it's everything else. Right, so now I'm going to go to bed, nice early night, and keep my fingers crossed for a bit of light tomorrow morning. Oh, here's hoping. Well, what a difference a day makes. It's hard to believe that this is the same place I was at yesterday. And look at it, it's absolutely breathtaking. At the minute with the photography, you see these reeds that are just about here. I'm just working with these and trying to place them with different backgrounds, but you see all of the backgrounds, they're all faded completely. I mean, the first shot, there was no background at all. The second shot, we have the trees falling up into the mist there. I'm just having a blast. Just walking around, taking it all in. I couldn't have asked for anything better. just putting on the 100 to 400, try a different focal length. So unfortunately the mist has come in and it's too thick for me to shoot the image I was about to take this way with the 100 to 400. Yet funnily enough, there is a shot behind me that I fancied, but there wasn't enough mist. So where the where the weather giveth and the weather taketh, or the other way around. Whoa, no, ow. There we go. So this is a very delicate photograph. I'm not even sure it's going to work, but to my eye, it looks like a soft watercolor painting. There's no detail because of the mist and the fog. But there's one birch tree, one golden birch tree in amongst the pines that really stood out to me, and with the delicate foreground of the grasses coming through the still water. Yeah, it's just the colours, the palette, the softness really attracted to me, but it all might be too much, too soft, and possibly too abstract. But I've shot it at f5.6, focusing on that tree for a crisp, sharp image, and yeah. It looks great, it looks quite nice. The thing that bothers me is I want a square composition, but this Nikon Z7 II, you can change the aspect ratio, but it saves it as a square file. You don't get the full raw file, so if anyone knows a way around that, I'd like to know. But at the minute I'm taking a shot in square, and then I'm reverting back to the standard 3:2 aspect ratio and taking a second shot, just so in post I can nudge my composition ever so slightly. Yeah, very nice though. Landscape photography, for me, is always a tale of two halves, because typically I will shoot over a 2-day period, which gives me completely different scenarios from one day to the next, and it allows me to tell that story and see the change. I mean, we saw how bad the weather was yesterday, and when stood in that wind and driving rain, you could never imagine this place like it is now. It's phenomenal, and having the van allows me to tell that story, obviously create these YouTube videos and enjoy my photography, have a place to shelter, place to sleep, place to cook, place to have a cup of coffee in the morning. So I shan't get too gooey with my van. We all know how much I love this thing. I'll just let you know my landscape photography calendar is now available on general sale, and I would like to finish this video with a message from today's sponsor, which is Squarespace. If you don't know who Squarespace are, they're an all-in-one website building platform where you can log on and build your own website, register your own domain, and get a really professional looking site in just a matter of days without any web coding experience. I know because I've done it myself. It's the easiest and most convenient route to a very good looking website. Get yourself an online store as well to maybe sell your own prints or images, or you could write a blog about your van experiences. So yeah, if you fancy a Squarespace website, go to squarespace.com/Heaton, give it a free try. And if you like a free trial, use the offer code Heaton for 10% off your first purchase. I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you all next week. So until then, bye for now.